Hello there, this is Reece Russell, and you're watching the weekly Steelchair.
It's my life in the box in front of me. Taking talk in my arms is the soul of me. You walk by, ask to see me laying face down.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the weekly Steelchair. This is, of course, an important one, a questionable one, a debate in itself. Reality beckons. Most commonly known as your Survivor Series review show. And I think we can all safely say, oh dear, is my reaction to Survivor Series. Now, I'm going to try and be as fair as I can, which is rare. Some way to put it. I'm going to try and be as fair as I can. What's up, James? I'm the same, my friend. Kindness is there's an old saying, kindness is a virtue. And if we're going to be kind about Survivor Series, then we're going to have to be really mindful. What do I care? We say the truth on this channel. If you don't like it, then don't be here. I have watched people's reviews, and I'm not kidding. I've seen a lot of glazing. Yeah, Brock massively overshadowed Braun. I saw a lot of glazing for this pay-per-view. A lot of over-the-top praise. And I'm like, how? How can you praise that event? It was horrible. I mean, I think I summed up Survivor Series quite well. I compared Survivor Series to the 25-26 Liverpool League season campaign. Built as one of the best pay-per-views that WWE does. And we've gone to shit. If we're going to be truly honest, and we're going to have to be, name 5 things from Survivor Series that you thought was good. And I want everyone to say, if you can tell me 5 good things about Survivor Series, I'll give you a round of applause. After watching Stone Cold Rock, Cena, Edge, Taker, it's very hard to accept Cody as a champion. No one can accept Cody as a champion. Don't worry. That's a great comment. Welcome. What will I call you? Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. Like, do you want me just to call you Staff Star? I don't know. Like, I just want to know what we call you. Because again, everyone's comments are welcomed and important, which I'm greatly appreciative of. I'm at the now where my attention span to WWE is already limited. People are going to say, but you give other chances to other promotions. Why not? Why are you doing this to WWE? I've already explained this before. WWE are meant to be the so-called greatest standard that there is, the highest standard, the measuring stick. And they don't act up to it. They don't live up to it. So why should I give them chance after chance after chance? Because of their name, because of their history and their legacy. Safi will be good. I will go with Safi. Welcome, Safi. It's a pleasure to meet you. But in all fairness, and I'm always fair on this channel, I never go against the status quo. I'm always honest, I'm always fair. I'm going to put a banner on, and I want everyone to participate. Be as honest as you can. And if you can't, then 5 criticisms. And whilst you're here, like, share, and subscribe. There we go. 5 praises or 5 criticisms you had about Survivor Series. Let me hear them. I can only think of one good thing. Cena lost the IC title. He certainly did. Good afternoon, Duran. Cena losing the IC title. I think that's going to be a common thing tonight. And we're going to come on to that. Brock Lesnar's perfect entry this time. Perfect entry. Intriguing. What makes it perfect for you, Safi? I'm going to give the biggest critique of them all right now. The whole flow and structure of this show had no continuity. The show structure, the flow, the talent involved, it doesn't justify almost 3 hours of my time, if not more than. Chester, I'm the same. I can't stand it. Like, it's painful to accept that we're actually in an era now where that is the constant status quo. We have to just live up to these chants. Why can't they just do wrestling for wrestling and give us what we want instead of just sucking up and I find this bit funny. That is very true. Here's the thing that makes me laugh, right? They say don't book for the internet. Don't book for the small portion of fans on the internet. Well, everyone's on the internet, so you're already lying to your audience. But if they say don't book for the audience, why are they booking for Jey Uso? Because he seems to be popular. And if you don't want to book for the audience, why do you book him? Cheap pops. Bingo. The whole mannerism of the hypocrisy is becoming a joke. And even I'm at the point now where I'm like, where's the bonus? Where's the positive? James with a very open criticism here. My criticisms are judgment, they're still here. 1. Why is Nikki Bella still around? 2. And if your main eventers in that if that's your main eventers in that War Games match, then you're in serious shit. 3. Great ones, my friend. But she's not wanted. I think the reality is that WWE are relying so badly on the older guard, and they haven't got a balance. Now, I know people that love Survivor. Actually loved that event last night. I'm still trying to figure out why. because I don't see any positive. There's nothing good. I'm going to say this now. Dominic Mysterio versus John Cena is the worst Intercontinental title match I've ever seen. Not just on TV, but on a pay-per-view event. It's for me, it's overwhelmingly the worst. Fightful Select have already ruined it. I apologize in advance, everybody, but Fightful have already ruined it. I apologize. That's the best news of all time. One appearance left and he's gone. But yeah. Fightful with Star. We report this. Thanks for ruining. Even though I wasn't overly interested in the Masked Man, thanks Fightful for ruining it. Vision without the visionary. They should just call it the theoretical now. I suppose before we get into the main point, which is the actual review, we should discuss the predictions championship. Who is your predictions champion? Who emerged victorious? Yeah. Don't worry, we're going to come to that. It's alright, Roy Sheen. It's okay. Well, your way you can. I may as well confirm to you that we had a fatal four-way 100% prediction tie. So you know what that means? We had a four-way tie at Survivor Series. Four-way tie. So the prediction by that it remains with Temple. Yep, she got to meet Jusha van der Liger, the jammy bitch. Welcome, Catherine. Who wants to join and talk Survivor Series with me? Please do, just so I can survive. But it was a four-way tie. So if you hear your name, you achieved 100% predictions on that event. Zodiac, Chester, Fernando, and Catherine. So they're a fatal four-way tie. But because there was a draw, Temple remains champion. He doesn't have to defend for quite a while. He's rather lucky. It just means that he has to defend outright. He can't draw anymore. So you guys have already ruined it for him. I can confirm who was the worst performer in the predictions this time. That was me. I actually had the worst performance of everybody. So Temple retains through the draw rule. And his next defense is World's End. So Temple has a month to prepare for predictions defense number 2. It's alright, Roy Sheen, you don't have to apologise. But yes, Zodiac, Catherine, Fernando, and Chester all got 4 out of 4. So well done, the 4 of you. Okay. Now the prediction. Now we've got predictions out, coverage out the way. Let's get through the madness. Yes, give yourselves an applause. You all did very well, but now it means if anything goes now for World's End. Because no way in hell am I doing Turning Point. Maybe I'd do Turning Point. We'll see. But I want everyone to be honest with me. That could work. I'll gladly watch. I think I want to get everyone's honest opinion. In the chat, as many words as you like, what was your overall opinion of Survivor Series? Exactly what you all thought. That is true, they were. Even funnier that they're not going to get it as well. You know, it's funny. See if they asked. See if they had just asked. They would have had him for the tournament. What, Catherine? Oh, that's Catherine's opinion of Survivor Series. That's valid. That is extremely valid. Yep. Load of shite. Yeah, yep. That's what I was thinking as well. I'm brainwashing all of you. But you want to see just how bad Survivor Series. Take a look at this. Let me show you just how bad Survivor Series is for someone. We're going to come to the women's matches. Although we need to reaffirm your comment because it's not all women's wrestling. We need to redefine that. Where is it? Where is it? I just want to show how bad Survivor Series really was. There. You know Survivor Series is that bad when this is what your co-host says. Survivor Series was that bad that what Ailey had to say. This is my co-host. Arguably human beings I know. One of the nicest. Don't tell her I said that. That is exactly what Ailey fought Survivor Series. Why would you bring back Shane McMahon? He can't solve the problem. I admire the choice, but he can't save it. Ailey also made another fantastic point, by the way, on another post I had. Of course, Jamie, as you know, he's been on the channel a few times. Nice guy. Nice middle-aged wrestlers fighting over the AEW World title, and Ailey's spot on, by the way. Middle-aged wrestling is the business these days. Again, strong comments from the co-host, the chosen one. On here. There's people there that you can replace with instantly, and you could actually see a change. The problem is they're too afraid to go for it. They're stuck with this lock and key mentality of sticking with him. I'd love to know why. You know it's bad when WWE bootlickers like JD and Solo Monster were bitching about sucking. Yeah, but here's the question. Did JD and Solo Monster's comments come across as genuine or fake? Maria, how are you? How are you, Maria? He had the guts to say that it was a great event. So, no, it wasn't Great Hunter. Y'all didn't sold out a baseball stadium for Survivor Series. Fun that you mentioned that. War Games was terrible. It was like party cake games. Maria, that is an absolute brilliant comment. Funny you should mention that. Let's see. Survivor Series 2025. The fact that people kind of guessed who it was going to be under the mask, but then they had to go and spoil it before we even get a follow-up. Disgusting. Peck Park. Record attendance is 47,000, and they're parading like it's a sellout crowd. No. This is what WWE are doing now. It's all about the crowd numbers and the moments. Guys, round of applause for Catherine in the chat. Come on, round of applause. Put it in the chat. I want so many clap emojis. Come on. I'm not sitting back down until I see a combined 50 clap emojis in the chat. I want to see 50. So far, we've got 24. I want another 26. I'm not sitting back down till I see 26 more clap emojis. Roy Sheen's just pure taking the piss, but I love it. Almost there. 5 more. Bingo, Catherine. Now, someone explain this to me why. This is what I... Now, Catherine put in here, war equals blood and violence. This was rainbows and roses. Oh, yeah, I was counting. Yous have gone above 50, so I'm happy with yous. Here's a funny question. Why... Oh, anyway. Why is it so acceptable? And now, to be their own style. I'm not gonna like force them to change their own style, but frankly, they should have some elements of their style and mannerisms, okay? But here's a question, and I want an opinion. What is it going to take for WWE to actually make the concepts live up to the name? What's it going to take? Let me give you an example. The Germans don't allow which pay-per-view name in their country. What pay-per-view name is banned in Germany? No worries, Roy Sheen. Spot on. Elimination Chamber. No, obviously, our German. It's a but I have to bring it up. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. That one event now doesn't live up to its name. Why? Now, I know I'm off topic in a minute, but hear me out. Why does Elimination Chamber not live up to its name now? And why does the match not live up to itself now? Live up to its name? Don't worry, it's not to catch you guys out. It's not intentional. What's up, Arnold? How are you doing? Salute to you as well, sir. Why does that particular name, why does that pay-per-view not live up to its word anymore? If you eliminate someone, you kill them. Well, we won't go that far. But what I mean is, it doesn't hold up to the violence anymore. Thank you, James, because it's soft and not utilized the way it should be. It is soft. Elimination Chamber now may as well be renamed to Care Bears because it's pure, soft, and cuddly. It's basically a match for the pensioners. That's not aimed at Catherine. But the manner of speaking, this is what I don't understand. This is a match that the same person who books WWE now has been in it multiple times and enjoyed the brutality. He said it himself. And now it's soft as shit. What are you afraid of? Like, not to be disingenuous to the Americans, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful manner, but there's school shootings on a regular basis. Do you think they're going to care if there's a violent cage match? No. they're not going to care because that's what they pay for. So if you're going to an event called War Games, and in there hoping that someone puts your face through a cage door, I'm begging for it. I'm hoping in the strongest we get sublime violence. Am I being too harsh? Maybe. But that's because of the standard that they're supposed to have and set. AEW have blood and thumbtacks, WWE have jelly babies and Lego. Even funnier is look what AEW did with the same thing several months ago. They took the piss and it was fantastic. I know I can be very harsh on my criticisms. I can be very harsh in terms of my opinions, and I know that. I know that, but at least I'm fair. There's no blood in any type of cage match, steel cage, Hell in a Cell, or Chambers. Who's up? Especially Hell in a Cell. How can you call it Hell in a Cell when it's not even hell? Pumpkin cage. I need a moment just for that comment. What's up, Lark Bark? Now, Tina thinks Survivor Series was good in her opinion. If you thought it was good, that's okay. I'm being honest, I did not like it. For me, it felt like they didn't try. Stay home because you're Wild Day and National Mississippi Day. Zach, you need to really tell me where you find all these. Do you just Google what are national holidays? Because you, sir, never fail. Actually, you know what? You've been here for quite a while. It's time to reward you, sir. There you go. Now, for context, Zach is watching it over on the portrait one. Everyone else is over on landscape because you're such sideways. From what I heard, Survivor Series was a dumpster fire. Dumpster fire is a good way to put it. I would say a full raging inferno. I nearly put bloody and raging together into blaging, but that doesn't work. Now here's the thing, right? No company is perfect. As honest as I would love it to be, no company is perfect. Look at AEW. There's times where we're saying AEW are very slow at maintaining momentum, or they're slow at taking certain actions, and when they do make them, does it live up to the expectation? Versus they've done something great, now can they sustain it? That's the AEW problem. And I think will agree that's the AEW. Then you've got the WWE problem. The WWE problem is actually more of an issue than anything else. Let me give you a fair example. What do I use these for? What do I use these for? And it's not a trick question. Come on. What do I use these for? Absolutely, James. And yes, Chester, I agree. Tina, I thought Survivor Series was absolutely dreadful. Like, I was really disappointed with Survivor Series as a whole. Predictability, lack of interest, not so much focus. WWE is terraforming. Terraforming. If you don't know what that means, I really do think you should look up. It's an interesting concept. I use those. It's for back pain, yeah. It's for back pain. You're not going to see me put on my chest now, are you? You're not going to find it on my chest because that's not what it's for. So why does WWE not use things that are built for its purpose and its true purpose, and instead they just waste time? What are they afraid of? That's an interesting thing. I want to get everyone's opinion. What do you think WWE is afraid of? Why do you think WWE is scared to go a cage match, a Hell in a Cell match, an Elimination Chamber, a War Games, even a No Holds Barred? They don't do first blood matches anymore. What do you think it is? What makes you think they're so scared? Like, are they afraid to lose sponsors? Are they afraid that they're going to lose viewers? What do you think? I want to hear what you guys think. Because there's no justification for their behavior. There's absolutely none. We talk about... What's up, Arn? WWE wants to play things safe. Epitome of work smart, not hard. Too violent, it offends the kids. Sponsorship could derail views. Great points, my friend. The funny thing is the same kids are playing all these violent video games. That's the best way to counter argument a point now. If WWE don't want to go crazy violent, movies. WWE love to claim that they are the movie of the sport. They try to claim that this is a picture in a movie. But in movies, you get grotesque violence and you get hard-hitting action. So you can't be picturing a movie then. If you're picturing a movie, you have to include all variables. Variables matter. Here's a funny thing. WWE proved my point when I say I don't care if AEW uses blood or not. Like, I always say, for me, if you use blood in a wrestling match, it needs to make sense with the gimmick match that you're doing, for example, or if it ties into something. But WWE proved my point every time when they actually have the matches purposely used for stuff like that and they don't do it. I think they purposely try to be the opposite of AEW, like a way to be like, we don't need blood to produce a good show. Yeah, but even with or without blood, they still can't produce it. Yep. Although CM Punk was busted open in the War Games match, but it didn't last long. There's a correlation argument. Too much, too little. How about just use it properly? They're that offended. WWE are that offended by blood that they actually made one of their partners stop using blood. Sorry. Dictatorship. They care about making money and selling merchandise without telling engaging stories. They're always playing it safe. 4 to 5 match cards, too low for the events. You basically watched a Monday Night Raw last night because Monday Night Raw also has 4 to 5 matches. The only way WWE uses blood is if it's done the hard way and then they turn the camera away from it. That, Catherine, is nail on the head. Was anyone offended when Austin got busted open against Brett? Just Vince. But that's because obviously they had to change things around. But even he was like, no, I loved it afterwards. WWE just simply doesn't care anymore. Lark Bark. Correct. So let's review these matches because we're 44 minutes in. We're going to start with the Women's War Games match because it kicked off the show as we predicted, as we thought. Roy Sheen is back. Wonderful. They are in autopilot mode. That's a good way to put it. Now, Roy Sheen's back. So you know what that means. Maria says the match was terrible. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. So let's nail it on the head. Let's make it abundantly clear why it was so bad. So the women's War Games match begins with Asuka and Charlotte Flair. I did expect one of the Kabuki Warriors to start the match. I'm happy that I got that bit right. It all went downhill after that. Now, Lash Legend was excellent in this match, though. She is the MVP. You're not going to like what I'm going to say about her then. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so let's get through it. If anyone wants to come on and talk about this as well, you're more than welcome to. I'll drop the link shortly. But let's go through this. So the match begins. Asuka and Charlotte Flair. It's a slow, measurable pace. And here's something that's important. And this might surprise you. I am not going to shit on that. Can anyone guess why? Can anyone guess why I am not going to? Lack of urgency is, funnily enough, what I put for the whole thing. Charlotte's part of the thing, but it's not all Charlotte. What's the key point of War Games? If you start a match, what do you need to have? If you begin these matches, same with the Royal Rumble, what do you need? I mean, violence is important. If you start in these matches, Maria, bingo. Tone of pace. Now, if you are going to be in a War Games, if you're going to be in a Royal Rumble, a Gauntlet match, an Iron Man match, or Iron Woman, I should say, because they're in there, but not when they're actually doing the ironing. I mean a genuine Iron Woman match. You need to have good pacing. When more participants come in, you can speed things up a little bit. But the most important thing at the start of these matches is to pace yourself. So I'm going to say, just like the men's match, respectfully, taking your time at the start of these matches is a positive. If you don't have this, then you're screwed. Now, Charlotte and Asuka have been against each other, teamed with each other for so long. In essence, you know, and I'm not a fan of Charlotte Flair, but I can say it with the easiest way. You know, between these two, you know that it's not going to be harmful. Like, you're not going to immediately go, I want to change the channel. Because you want to see what happens. But it's when, as you increase the pace, you bring in faster, lighter talent, then you start to see the problem. And then you think, that is true. At least under the WWE banner. When you realize the more people come in, and there isn't a difference in the style of talent, then the match quality really shows its lack of investment. Now look at who came in and out last night. Look who came in at the right time Look who came in at the wrong time. I would have changed the entire selection process. I honestly think after Charlotte and Asuka started, the choices of teammates in order really hurt the match. Lash Legend made several botches last night. Several. And that is because of inexperience. Lots of inexperience. As a rookie, that I have suggested she should work at Hooters instead, I'm not going to pick on her. I'm not going to pick on her. But what I will say is that was negligence. It was wrong of WWE to put her in that type of position. This was a bad idea. She has not had enough reps yet, even as a main roster talent, to justify being in a match like War Games. This should have been someone else. I know Nia Jax has a relationship of sorts with her now, a new forming friendship, but that doesn't mean you put Lash Legend in this match. She looked lost from after she hit that first chokeslam. Her power bombs, the military press situation. She's relatively inexperienced and she's doing all these power moves and she doesn't look confident. How can you... And here's another thing as well. You look at take the power bomb where she then went for the knee on Rhea Ripley. Instead of that, Rhea just walks into the boot. That was a bad botch. The Lash Legend wasn't the worst in this match. I'm going to tell you for stars, she wasn't. But you can't blame Lash Legend either. If she'd seriously hurt somebody, then you would absolutely question her. But she didn't. How am I wrong? She made 3 botches in that match alone and she looked lost. She was looking everywhere for something to do. Are you going to forget the powerbomb botch? Are you going to forget the military press botch? The second chokeslam? I'm not imagining these things. These things happened. I'm putting it down to inexperience. I wouldn't have put her in this match at all. I would have done someone else. Someone who actually would have made more sense. She didn't. I feel like she was made to be... She was put under so much pressure last night. Luckily, she came out without a scratch. Now, I'm saying that respectfully. Maria, she shouldn't have been there in the first place. She shouldn't have been there. No, she's not that talented at all. She's just tall and powerful. She is. She has a look. But that's as far as it goes. They should have put someone else in there. Maybe Lash Legend she gets in the cage and does a beatdown. An assisted victory. Instead, Oh, I don't know. She's barely had any main roster matches. Let's just stick her in and we'll see how she gets on. No. Sometimes you got to sink or swim. That is true. That is true. She's barely at the threshold. She's young. She's young. She's got many years left. But this felt like too soon. For me, anyway, it felt too soon. Now, I look on the contrast. I look at the veterans in this match. So the veterans in this match, you have Asuka, Charlotte Flair, Kairi Sane, Becky Lynch, AJ Lee, and Nia Jax. And they were all shocking. She will become a bigger star than Harley Cameron. No, she won't. I think they expected the other veterans to make her look good. I think they did their job putting her over, but more experienced viewers can notice her flaws within the first 2 seconds. How will Lash Legend become a bigger star than Harley Cameron? That's an interesting one. I want to hear this. I'm intrigued by that. Chester says, in his opinion, Bayley should have been in War Games instead of Lash. She does have ties to it. She's a lot of fair ties. I would have put in actually, I don't think there's anyone else you could have put in bar Bayley. Harley Cameron can also sing. Harley Cameron's good on the mic. Harley Cameron's also a better performer. Jade should have been in this match. She's the world champion. Potentially. Potentially. It's similar to Jade and even Ryback. Lash will be a bigger star than Harley, but retroactively, Because people know who she is in wrestling because of her singing. That's another thing as well. They know her because of her music. You know her music, you know who she is. Like, those are important factors. I was more let down by the same veteran again in this match. It's time for someone to take Becky Lynch behind the woodshed, load up a shotgun, and finish her career. Old Yeller needs to be put down. She was the worst performing wrestler, if you want to even call her that, in this match. Again, Becky Lynch is showing why she is a problem in the business, and they continue to use her in high profile situations. Why, for goodness sake, do they persist with this has been? And I'm not even kidding. There is no moment or interest from her that you can justifiably say, I would love to see her in a War Games match. She was dreadful last night. It's high time she goes back to being a writer and bugger off. Old Yeller, get rid of her. She slowed the match down after it was unnecessary. She doesn't make a match fun. She doesn't make a match exciting. She doesn't give you what you want. Here's the difference. I say at the very start, Asuka and Charlotte Flair don't give you the interpretation of a bad match pacing to switch the channel. Becky Lynch makes you want to come out of your Netflix stream and change to something else like Squid Games. That is the impact that Becky Lynch is having. She is not right for this. Dangerous beyond words to persist with this woman. And I am getting sick and tired of seeing her on my screen. But what do you all think? Who do you think was the worst part of it? My only positive thing about the War Games is the dive by Io. Io Sky seems to only want to do that dive in this match instead of actually wrestle. I mean, to be fair, her running rope to rope to rope, then the basement drop kick is always a moment. But apart from that, there's nothing there. Io Sky as well is very lucky she didn't break her leg last night. That woman is mental. But I adore Io Sky because at least she's brave to do something. She could have really hurt herself. Yeah, it's not shocking at all. It's a good laugh, but it's not shocking. But there's so much of an issue. She could have really hurt herself. She's lucky she's small. And I'm not saying that to mock small people. I'm being genuinely serious. Io Sky is lucky that she is not someone like, say, my height, or God forbid, she's not like it's not like she's anyone of like over 6'5". Because if she was, she would have broke her leg. And that's not an exaggeration. Catherine says nobody stood out in this. No, someone did stand out. Someone did stand out. but for the wrong reasons. Rhea Ripley stood out in this match. She is... I'm going to say this as a fan of Rhea Ripley, and I'm not afraid to say it. It won't be long before she gets go-away heat. Like, I actually think that is going to happen within the next 18 months. Oh, don't worry, Catherine. We're going to talk about that lazy bitch. Don't worry. We're going to talk about her right now. AJ Lee does come out when the match is filling up. She is popular at the minute, Fernando. That's going to change. That will change. Because she is getting thrown down everyone's throats. It's not her fault. It's not her fault. But it will happen. Everyone gets the go-away heat when they're overly popular. Can she manage it? Can she adjust, though, is the question. But Catherine wants to talk about AJ Lee. Rhea's become complacent. Rhea has the same problem that I think... Rhea has the same problem that I have with Charlotte Flair. Io needs to stop with that before she gets injured. Thank goodness she didn't. Yep. It's Stephanie McMahon. Screw her. But AJ Lee. AJ Lee came in, climbed the cage, and then disappeared after that. She shouldn't have been in this match as well. Now, I said Becky Lynch was one of the worst in this match, and she is, for me, the worst in this match. But that's because you can't see AJ Lee. That doesn't effectively make AJ Lee worse. It doesn't exactly make her important. I am at my wit's end with these so-called women's wrestlers. It's a women's division that needs to be carved with a knife. Now I'm going to stand and just hold my breath whilst I can set that point. Who was worse, AJ Lee or Becky? Becky. The women's wrestling division is a snooze fest. In WWE, yes. Elsewhere, women's wrestling is either steadily showing its worth or is really good. In WWE, you have good talent that can't work, and then you've got Catherine, who would just tell them you're better just going and working in Target. This division will not get better if you call up NXT talent. That's true. But this division can get better if you actually allow the talent to stop working to just the camera side that they want to focus on and all the 5-minute looking at situations and go, no, you are highly athletic, hard-working women. Let's really show what you're capable of. The women in WWE are being used like a slow-moving animal. Other companies allow their women to be fast, slow, aggressive, hard-hitting, dominant, tap into their sexual nature, tap into their sex appeal, and still show that they are great workers in the ring. Whereas in WWE, it's slow. You need to have a bit of sex appeal to try and tap into it. And if you don't, you get the Shawn Michaels treatment, which is we're going to write you off TV and you're going to go under the knife, you're going to get some implants, and then you're going to come back and we might push you. And if you think I'm reaching with that, I can name you plenty of examples. But that is the WWE style. Yeah, it is. And that's the problem. There should not be a need for these women to behave or act like sloths. Kiana James, yes. Cora Jade's another one. Tiffany Stratton is another one. That's 3 of them. Nikki Bella, funnily enough. Now, of course, if you want to get augmentation on your body, there's nothing wrong with that. But if that's how you want to get over, then you don't take this business seriously. Julia just has to work flow. There's a difference. And I hate that this is what they're doing, because let's look at the women in their company that can actually wrestle. I'm actually going to be very diplomatic here. Let's look at the women. I'm going to name wrestling women, and if you think they can wrestle, put a check mark. If you think they can't, put a cross. Honest opinion. We're going to do this for the next 5 minutes. I'm going to name some women. If you think they can wrestle, check. If you think they can't, cross it. So here's number 1. Stephanie Vaquer. That as well are. But let's go through it. Women in WWE that can actually wrestle. Number 1, I'm going to put Stephanie Vaquer. Do you think she can or can't? Let me see what you think. Luckily, Abu's not here because he'd be on the Blue Chew. Chester says tick. Fair. I want to get the rest of your opinions first. I want everyone to be fair. I want you guys to be honest. I'm even going to put on night driving for this. Now I'm not gonna shout on them. I'm just gonna say names. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna talk any of them down. I'm just gonna say names, and you guys are gonna agree yes or no. James, 100%. Okay, let's go another one. Let's name another wrestler if you think they can wrestle or not. Michin, Mia Yim. In your opinion, can she wrestle? Yes or no? Arn says yes. Let's see. Women. Chester says no for that's fine. Can we go? Yeah. Catherine says fuck no. I appreciate the honesty. Meechin no for James. Okay, so let's go down the. Let's carry on. We'll go to the top of this list. So WWE have a total of just wrestlers. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60, 61. So the first name we spoke about, Larkbark, was Stephanie Vaquer. Can she wrestle? And then Mia Yim. Just a yes or no. So I'm going to go at the very top of this list. Some of these I've never seen. I'm hoping you guys might have. You can tell me yes or no. Adriana Rizzo. Can she wrestle? Yes or no? She's on NXT. Some of these are going to be very obvious no's. Arn says no. Yes or no? AJ Lee. Now, I want you to think objectively, not with your bias. I want you to be objective. Just in general, Arn, can she wrestle? Yes or no? I'm up, Reece. Up at the crack of dawn tomorrow. Take care. See you soon. See you later, mate. This will all serve a purpose. That's the funny thing. So, AJ Lee, yes or no? Chester says no. Okay, next one. Alba Fire. My fellow Scottish national. Arn says yes. Okay. Next one. Alexa Bliss. Fair, Chester. Fair. I appreciate your opinion. Here's one for you, Chester. Ariana Grace. Lark says yes. I'm going to assume that's for Alexa Bliss. Arn says yes to both. Okay. Okay. Asuka. Kicking an empty bottle is always funny when you crush it with your feet. Arn says yes to Asuka. Okay. Arn, try this one for then. BFAB. Chester says no for Adriana. Yep. Ariana. Yep. I agree with that. All right, Arn. Bailey. See how easy it is to just look at opinion and just divulge? Now, if that's in the match, and that's the best you've got, then why can't you make it more interesting? Because it goes downhill from there just as much. Now, Becky, of course, tries to escape the cage. If she had done, it would have been a forfeit for her team. But instead, she gets pulled back down and she gets mugged, and then eventually she taps out to AJ Lee, who isn't there. The same AJ Lee who's been in barely any matches since she's come back, barely any TV time, barely put in the work, and she's rewarded with another pay-per-view performance that doesn't measure up. A two-time champion combined over for 300 days combined. I'm pretty sure she'd combined 300 days over her two reigns. Oh, my bad. 3 reigns combined 405 days. The joint most reigns with the title, and yet she barely got a sniff of it. Yeah, I agree with that. They are beyond the whole concept of a casual fan which isn't present. They are a concern. They are a problem. They don't get you interest. And then when you get to the match themselves, they don't deliver. So, if you can't deliver, then why should we want to watch you? Because at that point, following this, we then get a massive 7.5 minutes for an ad break, a promo package before we even. And sorry, actually no. Let me correct myself. Sorry, 8 minutes because you've got a minute of high angle camera work. 8 minutes to then get the cage up to go into a match that's just as bad. We went from a non-title match to a title match that absolutely sucked. Last night, for me, unequivocally, John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio became the worst Intercontinental title match I've ever seen. And I've seen a lot of bad ones. But that was horrible. That last night was disgusting. And not in a good way. That right there proved why what is the fucking point? The star power brings in viewers, the show quality converts them to fans. I think they forget about the quality part. The quality part they think they claim to have, but they don't have. I'm gonna say it now, see last night, that match made me ill. In my mind, it made me ill. Angry. It's the same constant boring, overused shtick. And I'm not saying this because of who's involved. I know I don't like John Cena. I know I don't particularly care about Dominic Mysterio. I can't just sit back and claim that match was great. Because it's the same rubbish. The same whiny, narcissistic, egotistical dumpster fire. Bingo. However, Liz Return got a lot of YouTube short videos. I wonder why. That's what they were relying on. That's what they were hoping for. And it really doesn't make a bloody difference. Is it good to see Liv Morgan back on television? Actually, for her, yes, it is, because I know that she's missed her job. She has been out for quite a while. I'm not just gonna. Oh, don't worry, Lark Barkham. The same. His tournament is terrible. 2 babyfaces and 2 heels. What a way to destroy his tournament. Literally. Here's another thing as well. Remember what I said? Recent shows. The thing that's been annoying me a lot about Dominic Mysterio and its constant. Can someone please you too, mate. Thanks for tuning in. It's good seeing you. Can someone please tell me you've got to be kidding me? Someone, no way. There's actually someone right now There's actually someone right now who's doing a re-watch along for Survivor Series. Why? I'm not even going to fucking get into that. And Cena and Vince had a thing going on. Cena and Vince are definitely the definition of concerning. But here's the thing that got me, right? Why does Dominic Mysterio have to continuously persist with Eddie Guerrero's moves? Slowly, a lot of people are going to hate this because they're Dominic Mysterio fans, and I'm sorry. But Dominic Mysterio is killing the legacy of Eddie Guerrero. And it's not just Dominic Mysterio. I'm not going to just blame Dominic Mysterio for this. I've criticised Mercedes Moné for this. I've criticised Mike Santana for this. Can we stop with constantly using a dead man's moveset? Everything that he does, can we just let it go? Like, I am sick to the back teeth of watching those three constantly do the Three Amigos, then a shitty version of a frog splash. Can we just get some new material? Like, can Dominic just do something else? Can Mercedes? I know Eddie Guerrero was her favorite wrestler, but seriously, stop. And Mike Santana, I know what Eddie Guerrero meant to you as well, but doing it every single match is an issue. It's not it's not a positive. It's not a valuable experience. It's detrimental. And you can see from a mile away, you knew there was going to be interference. You knew there was going to be some form of predictable response. The question is, why? Yeah, they do. I'm sick of it. This is why Rey Mysterio is the smartest out of all four of them. Because he doesn't do it anymore. Yeah. The only person who should be using Eddie Guerrero's offense, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, the only person active in the ring that should be using Eddie Guerrero's moves is Chavo Guerrero. Not Mike Santana, not Mercedes Moné, not Dominic Mysterio, as people like to say. The only person who should be using Eddie's moves when it actually matters, if he still wants to compete when he wants to, he doesn't compete a lot, thankfully, but the only person who should be using it is Chavo Guerrero. Can we just stop using Eddie's stuff? It's at the point now where it's beyond the problem of the super kick or the DDT. It's long past that for overuse. Yeah, I know that. But he doesn't do the moves anymore. He does the taunt, but he doesn't do the moves. The frog splash obviously is different. He does it as part of his 619, which is completely valid. But I just cannot for the life of me want to see it. And that's what made that match bad as well. The same thing, unzipping the boot, having the mocking injury situation. massively disgraced it. Massively. And it hurts because I know deep down he would be proud. He would be. But even Dominic's performance wasn't that good. Cena's performance wasn't that good. You know the match was bad when you're being outshined by Roxanne Perez. Not Liv Morgan, not Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez. When she is outshining you on every placet you can get, there's something seriously wrong. And the punch before the low blow, predictable. My only thing though, at what point does that end? The Judgment Day are still a thing. The Judgment Day assist Dominic Mysterio to win back the IC title. This could have been the perfect opportunity to screw Dominic Mysterio. Exactly. It doesn't tie in with Dominic Mysterio. It doesn't actually look good when he does it. Ooh, as it stands, Napoli beating Roma, and Napoli of keeping AC Milan top of the league. Thank you, Napoli. Just keep it as a 1-0. And that'll do me. But that's my honest opinion. Like, what more can they do? And I know people like Dominic Mysterio. I don't think Dominic Mysterio is awful. I've got nothing against the kid. I'm just not a fan of him constantly doing their offense. I want him to have his own identity. I want him to. Here's a challenge for Dominic Mysterio that actually I think would do him the world of good. I want Dominic Mysterio to find his own identity. I want him to actually go, you know what? Maybe I can try something. Eventually, they're all going to look like this. Yeah, they should, Chester. They so damn well should. But they're going to end up like this. They're all going to end up like clones. And I can't stand it anymore. I'm trying, I can't. For me, it's just ridiculous. What's a good way to put it? This might work. See, when I look at talent now, And I'm thinking, what more can they do to improve themselves? And then you set them a challenge, and you think, could they do better? You should be feeling like this. There's a sound that I have that makes sense. There's a level of jeopardy that you should be under to be original. Nobody wants to be original. They are inherently lazy when it comes to fresh ideas. That, for me, is completely spot on, Lord Bart, because that is a problem with the business. And it's even more and more concerning that it continues to happen and nobody wants to call them out because they're afraid. They're afraid that you're going to get abused for voicing your own opinion. You'll only get abused if you abuse back or you abuse in general. Here's an opinion, and then I'll go opposite with a fact. Here's an opinion. WWE have not improved in any shape or form as a wrestling product since 2017. They had periods in between that were weak, like 2012 and 2013. 2014 was bizarre. But 2016, 2017, the wrestling, particularly on SmackDown, was good. Now, here's a fact. WWE have increased the size and sale of their shows and their product. They are making money off a bad product. If that had been a regular shop, if that had been a film or a game, it would be reviewed like mad. And or even an Amazon product that you can buy out of stars. I guarantee if it was that bad and people held accountable, they would all give it what score out of 5? Yeah, Raw wasn't good. SmackDown, however, was. Apart from Jinder Mahal. If something is absolutely dreadful on Amazon that you've bought and you're returning it and you're given a score out of 5 and it's absolutely dreadful, what score are you giving it? What are you going to give it? Let's just say it like this. You've bought a book, but the front cover is the wrong color, it's the wrong title, pages are ripped, it's been written on, it's been smudged. you paid, say, a tenner for it, or 15 pounds, or in your equivalent, say $15. You've paid for it, it's been delivered, it's something you've been excited for, and it comes in and it's absolutely horrible and not what you bought. Brand new, reasonable fee. What are you giving it? You're not giving it a 5 out of 5, are you? What are you really going to give it? Don't be shy, you're not on trial. This is in wrestler's court. Thank you, Chester. 1 out of 5 or 0 out of 5 is what I think of people copying Eddie Guerrero's moves. Because they're all tarnishing it. They're all showing lack of originality. And it's not just one company. There's so many across the board that are doing it. And I'm thinking it's time to stop. It's time to stop copying and just try something new. Try your own variations. Try your own ideas. You can pay homage in a different way. It doesn't make you less of a fan. It doesn't make you go against someone that you admired. Just because you grew up watching them doesn't mean you have to do their stuff every single match. That makes you less of a fan. That makes you a thief, a con artist. And that's not something you want to be. Let's be real. So let's look at the third match. The third match of Survivor Series after Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan leave after Dominic reclaims the title. It's just a bunch of wrestlers who pretend it's Halloween every day. That is the best comment of 2025 Lark Bark. Phenomenal comment. So let's look at the match number 3. Nikki Bella, World Championship match. Her first singles title match, I believe, for a world title or a major, like, top of the card title since Evolution against Ronda Rousey. That's as far back as my memory can take it, but correct me if I'm wrong, the last time Nikki Bella wrestled for a major world championship was Evolution versus Ronda Rousey. That's as far back as I can honestly remember. That indeed was original. That indeed was original, my friend. And I thank you for that contribution. That was brilliant. But yes, someone correct me if I'm wrong. That match should not have happened last night, and the fans didn't even care about it. That match. Now, I know, obviously, two good friends of my channel, Nick and Nikki, who are doing their their Survivor Series reaction show tonight. I know, of course, when it comes to a Nikki or a Nick, they will fight the banner. And understandable so. And I'm probably going to have a few arguments with them tonight. But even I can't. I'm going to have to make sure I don't lose that argument. Well, that debate, I should say. It's debate between friends. But that match is a perfect epitome of why I recommend you go and read Catherine's new article. I'm going to drop it in the chat because what Catherine said, her latest article, is genuinely outstanding. I'm just going to give you a little plug here about what Catherine's latest article is all about. And I, for one, really like it. Ooh, if only James was still here, he could see this, that AC Milan are trying to get Sergio Ramos. Right, where's Catherine? Catherine got to see MJF, she met Okada, and she got to see Jushin Liger at WrestleKid, the jammy bugger. But here's the thing: it's always other talent get moaned at for doing their thing, but when it comes to a legendary wrestler's offense, just let them do it. It's fine. No, we have to do things right. Now, where is that? There it is. So Catherine's latest article is, yeah, pretty much. Kat put up in her latest blog on her website, themidpodcast.com. Catherine's latest article is called WWE Fans Have Nobody But Themselves to Blame for the Lack of Quality on WWE Shows. Yes, you did. Now, I read Catherine's article, and it ties in well with me because my dyslexia. Catherine doesn't do it for me, but she puts it in yellow, and the black bold font helps me really well. But Catherine's post, honestly, is excellent, and I'm going to share it right now. So let me just share post, copy link. I fully encourage everybody to give this a read. Now, the good thing is you cannot get. Obviously, I can't get struck for copyright using Catherine's vlog. I'm going to share some vlog on screen because there's a part of Catherine's vlog that's very important and I want everybody to see. So I'm going to show it and then I'm going to quote the part in question. It's this part right here. This one tagline: fans reward the very content they claim to hate. In between everything she does, this right here, Catherine, is bang on the fucking money. Because look at this. This one article alone, you could arguably say this whole section, and you get to the very end, and then Catherine's summed it up phenomenally. WWE fans frequently try to separate their outrage from their consumption. And the quote is, I'm only watching to see how bad it gets. I hate watch it. I don't want to fall behind. These rationalizations reinforce WWE's complacency. When the fan base continues rewarding mediocrity with views, WWE has zero incentive to evolve. Zero incentive to evolve. Now, I love to write. I really do. I love to write. But what Catherine put is fantastic. I mean, look at this. This is a very clever piece right here. The push of Roman Reigns. It was rejected before time to develop. The difference is there was many people who didn't like it because it didn't fit, or it didn't make sense, or they had no interest. But you don't give those people something different as well. You should be giving both sets of fans different. The non-Roman Reigns fans should have someone else to enjoy, whereas the Roman Reigns fans could enjoy him and stick with him. It shouldn't be a punishment to everybody else that they're being thrown down your fucking throat. WWE doesn't want to give the people what they want. If WWE gave people what they wanted, this is going to be controversial, but it's probably a fact. If WWE gave people what they wanted, AEW wouldn't exist. And I'm not saying that because I want any other promotion to be gone. But I'm being serious. If WWE honestly, if WWE honestly cared about what people wanted and gave people what they wanted, without a shadow of a doubt, other companies like AEW, TNA. They wouldn't have been here. It's the same thing over and over and rinse and repeat. Yeah, exactly. That's true. You need to stay motivated, to stay hungry. Look at the case of Metallica, especially Metallica. He was MVP of the men's board games. He was such an MVP that he kept getting overshadowed, mate. I think that's a reality that we're stuck at. I suppose we can get some good news. We can get, before we carry on, then we talk about the rest of Bella versus Vaquer. Let's go over a little bit of positive news in between. New Japan are very close to hitting 50,000. They are close to the 50,000 mark for the Wrestle Kingdom show, which is in literally 31 days. We are 31 days away. Sorry, 32 days away. Sorry, from Wrestle Kingdom. No, I'm being really stupid. 33 days. We're 33 days away from Wrestle Kingdom, and New Japan are about to have the biggest gate. That's a non-WWE pay-per-view since 1998, and they're going to get a 50,000 seat sellout. They gave in to fans and gave them Cody versus Roman too instead of Roman Rock. They shouldn't have gave us either of them. Okay, Wrestling Observer says that the current reported plan is for Cody Rhodes to defend the undisputed title against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 42. Sigh. Although, I wonder if that's where the heel turn comes from. Stephanie Vaquer was the best wrestler of the night. She certainly has a quality. A reasonable quality. She deserves better than having to face Nikki Sewage Bella. That's a name and a half. Here's the thing. Let's find out. Let's find out. See if I can find a rating. In fact, let's go through some. Let's see what Bleacher Report gave it as an overall grade. They gave the Women's War Games a grade B. They gave Cena versus Mysterio a grade B. Nikki Bella versus Vaquer, they gave it a grade C. And then the Men's War Games a grade B. Overall show a B minus. Far too high. Let's look at oh, okay. Hold on. No, ESPN. There we go. ESPN. Let's see. I think this is just time. That's just a time frame. No, they've not gave a review for it. Well, they've gave a written review, but they've not gave a score. Bear in mind, this is the final WWE pay-per-view of 2025. 3 ups, 5 downs from What Culture. Let's have a look at What Culture. Let's see what Culture have gave. Downs number in 5 stadium show. So they're saying that they've actually said, because even though it's a stadium show, it was really poor. 4-match card with 110 minutes of in-ring action that was competent yet disappointing. Number 4, a down. What was accomplished? A bland finish where tension between the top faces was the big takeaway. A match as good as her promo. Just an utter failure that did La Primera no favors and was nothing more than a bathroom break match, and a disappointing one at that. Vaquer tried to sprinkle in some hope spots, but fans were silent for much of this snoozer, only coming alive for, you guessed it, the Devil's Kiss. Glad to know one of the wrestlers in the company only gets a reaction from 45,000 fans when she bounces on the mat repeatedly. You may as well get her in a bed of a talent and have a sex celebration. A kids' gloves women's cage match. The opening 15 minutes was some of the most forgettable minutes of a War Games match in recent memory. Can anyone cite a single spot that stood out before Becky Lynch lost her mind at AJ Lee entering the match? Usually in a multi-person match like this, fans can isolate a sequence designed to get someone over. A spotlight segment, if you will. There was nothing like that here. The double cage served zero purpose. At no point did this feel like a blood feud. And the final one, capital M moments. There's no way to sugarcoat this. WWE, by its own admission, never was a wrestling company, but now it's not even a storytelling company, at least not a good one. Between these and John Cena's retirement tour, WWE is masking its deficiencies quite well. Once Cena's gone, they're going to need to fill that void. Perhaps booking a more compelling product. Ding, ding, ding. Just a thought. Let's have a look at what they say for their ups. A mystery man doesn't reveal himself. It's Austin Theory, mate. The second one, Liv Morgan makes her return. Okay. And the final one, another gloriously overbooked Cena match. That's an up. Get fucked. So already ESPN are letting people down. Nonsense. Frickin' nonsense. Let's get to the men's main event after this because, quite frankly, Nikki Bella versus Stephanie McMahon was a pathetic disgrace. I'd like to say it's Karrion Kross, but unfortunately, Fightful have confirmed it's Austin Theory. Karrion Kross won't be back in there for a long time. There's no excitement. There's no enjoyment of it. It's just too much fear. And here's the worst part as well. You want to build up Stephanie McMahon as a champion, but then you give Nikki Bella a title shot and you don't do anything anyway. You do 2 Devil's Kiss moves. And here's the sad part about Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon was brilliant in Mexico. She was brilliant on New Japan Strong. And the people that enjoyed her wrestling don't get to enjoy that now. Instead, we have to hope for the best before she bounces her ass on the mat in a move that's overused. Same with Julia. Julia and Stephanie McMahon are world-class wrestlers. And they are being reduced to nothing but pig shit. Tell me where I'm telling lies. Tell me where I'm telling lies. Because quite frankly, you can't. It's not possible. Now, the War Games main event begins with an interesting one. I didn't expect it. The War Games match begins with CM Punk and Braun Breaker. Now, Braun Breaker. I praise Braun Breaker a lot because I believe in Braun Breaker. I do. I believe in Braun Breaker. I've always liked Braun Breaker. There's something about him that I like. As a quality, as a talent, as a legacy. There's something about him that I'm like, he screams world champion. doing this. I need to just put this on my back. Come on. I heard about it. I wasn't sure if it was real or not. There we go. That's good for my back. It's my back store. Because I'm having to carry WWE on these reviews. But yeah, Fernando, I did hear about this. Apparently, they didn't like the way it was going to go. I don't think they know what they're doing with it. Surprised both world champions did not get serious injuries. I was expecting, it sounds a bit harsh, I was expecting Punk to get injured. That might sound harsh, but I did. But I'm glad that Braun Breaker didn't break his neck. Speaking of injuries as well, like the whole fake Dominic Mysterio one, that was just pathetic as well. But the Braun Breaker one, legitimately, I thought he broke his neck. The way he went down was awful. Now, the match start with this, and Braun, let's be real, Braun bullies CM Punk. He absolutely tears him apart. No second fiddle for Braun Breaker. He shows who's boss. Punk. CM Punk cannot keep up with him. If you actually look at it, CM, and obviously it's an age difference, but CM Punk seriously cannot keep up with Braun Breaker. And this was only seconds into the match, and he's already gassed. No, you're right. 2 years in a row, she's wore that mask. And it's such a convenient situation that it's really not exciting. Punk is old news, absolutely. Of course, the baby faces have the advantage. Cody Rhodes comes out. Well, actually, yep, Cody Rhodes does come out. Appearance isn't the one that actually causes the start. It's the early appearance of Drew McIntyre. Now, we see an attempt on the Doomsday device. The Doomsday device conveniently the finishing move of his uncle and his dad's one of their greatest rivals, the Road Warriors. Now, Braun, credit to where credit's due. Braun is 250 pounds of genuine muscle. Braun Breaker is built like Rhino that goes full swing. He is built like Rhino. Strong, powerful, fast. And the strength is there. But when you're putting him up on your shoulders, you've got to be careful. He takes the Doomsday device head on from CM Punk, and then when he goes down, there's no protection. He has no protection at all. You watch that again, he is in serious trouble. Look at the way he goes down. Instead of coming in an angle where he can flip his body and land on his front, he is that, and then bang, off the mat. If his neck had been straight, like if he had been fully straight, Braun Breaker last night would have been paralyzed. He is that lucky. Skin of his teeth. And I hate the fact that, well, first of all, they take the camera away from him. I like that, but you don't see or hear, oh, we're getting Braun Breaker checked on. You're telling me you can't even get him to the door just to ask him if he's all right? Oh, we'll just carry on. He might have a broken neck, but it's okay. We'll carry on. Arseholes. Who will the fans turn on first, Cody or Rhea? I think they'll turn on Cody first, but Rhea won't be long after. Now, following Drew McIntyre's dominant display when he gets into the cage, dominant crying, I should say, Jimmy Uso comes out, a splash. Well, not really, actually. It's well, oh, you get Jimmy Uso proves as well why he's actually a far better talent than Jey Uso. Even though I don't think much of Jimmy, I actually still think he's better than Jey. But Jimmy Uso actually at least tries to spice up the match. You get to Jey Uso, who comes in, takes the piss, and then decides to run his entrance back. There's no clock. There's no count. There's no count. It's no. Let's just get straight to Brock Lesnar. Now Brock as well. Brock and Braun at least make sense in this match. Oh, actually, hold on. Bronson Reed as well. Bronson Reed at least had a better showing than he did last year. But Jey Uso makes such a mockery of it that they actually rush to Brock Lesnar's entrance so Brock can come in and just decimate everybody. And he does. Typical Brock Lesnar fashion. We then get to the entrance of Roman Reigns. Brock exits the cage, stands on the between ringside and the entrance ramp. Brock is ready to take on Roman. He eats 2 Superman punches, and then after that, Brock proceeds to ruin Roman, F5s him through a table, gets him in the cage, continues to destroy, and then we get the brass knuckles. We get spear overload. We get a spear through the table. Then on the other side of the ring, in ring 2, finisher, kick out, finisher, kick out, finisher, kick out, finisher, kick out, interference, rope, spear, 1, 2, 3, Braun pins the world champion. The same world champion that won his title 3 weeks ago. This is your first pay-per-view where CM Punk is the world champion for the first time in quite a while. Obviously, he won the title at SummerSlam, but he hasn't been champion since SummerSlam. He didn't leave SummerSlam as champion. But he comes into this pay-per-view as world champion, and instead of defending his title, he's inside the War Games match. He's your world champ. He's the one that gets pinned. You could have humiliated him even further. You could have done more things. Why does CM Punk have to be pinned? Answer that for me. Why does it have to be CM Punk? Why couldn't you have the Usos get pinned? Why does it have to be the world champion? Why can't Cody not get pinned? I get it. The vision's there, a continuing storyline with CM Punk. I get it. But why does it have to be Punk being pinned when he's just become world champ? Exactly, Chester. Braun versus. It's not really long term storytelling, though, is it? And Braun versus Punk in Mania, I highly doubt it. If so, too soon. I do like Braun, though. When he becomes world champion, I'll be happy. Yeah, it's a no win situation, exactly. Set up Punk versus Breaker, I'm fine with that. If you're going to set up Punk versus Breaker, why do we need to have why do we need to have interference to do it when Braun can beat him on his own? Unless they're using the Masked Man, which to be fair is Austin Theory. If they're using the Masked Man to further continue the let's blame talent situation, because they could be using the whole identity crisis to blame Rollins for the attack, which allowed Braun to get the win. Mm. No, it is always to be fair. You've got you've got no pay per view until the Royal Rumble. It's 2 months to the Royal Rumble. Then you've got Elimination Chamber. Then you've got another 2 months until WrestleMania. Yeah, Steph's still out. They're going to use the stomp as a chance to build it. Bear in mind as well. Here's another important thing as well. Depending on where he slots in, Chris Jericho is also coming back to WWE as well. What brand is he going to be on? Where are they going to position him? Because here's the thing: whether you like it or not, his name is still big enough to walk into a main event. And you know that he's going to ask for one. Like, they're going to ask for one. What? What is she saying now? Have you guys seen this? Stephanie McMahon will co-host Saturday night's main event one last time with Joe Tessitore because it's Cena's last match. No, David Otunga actually doesn't like his final run. Interesting. Co-host tonight's main event. No wonder that's a terrible show. I know the Royal Rumble is 2 months away, and I'm not overly looking forward to it because I said I wasn't going to cover it. I am going to do something. I am going to do something for all of you. I'm going to let you guys compete in the predictions championship. I won't be taking part. If you guys want to do it, you can. I won't be taking part. Yeah. Because it's Cena's last night, and because she wants to take all the credit for giving him a chance when he nearly got the sack. Right, you guys can do it. I won't. It was Fury in the mask last night, but they'll say it's Orton. Yeah, it definitely was Austin Fury. Yeah, the Rumble's in Saudi. Yep. I won't be I won't be doing it though, because again, it's against what I stand for. I won't be taking part. I'll let you guys gladly do it, but I won't take part. No, not at all. My exact words to a friend of mine at the very end of this match, and my cousin, because my cousin's a wrestling fan, my exact words to them were, I'm counting down the clock, I can't wait. I mean, sadly, it pissed off my cousin, but it made me laugh. Let's round up the review by saying this. It's the worst Survivor Series of all time. Pay-per-view of 2025. And there's no hope in hell of it getting better. Do you have anything nice to say about Cena? He's got good taste in cars. I'll give him that. He's got good taste in cars. And he's got a longevity in the business that many people would love to have. I'll say that. As far as a wrestler goes, no, I can't. Well, they still will. SummerSlam. To be fair, Las Vegas is outdoors. Money in the Bank in New Orleans, that's outdoors, I believe. And if they come to the UK and they do a big stadium show, if they intend to do a stadium show, like Wembley, for example, that's outdoors. Technically, it's outdoors because it's got an open roof. But in reality, it's what they do. I'm at that stage now where you know when you beg for something to get better, and I mean you really beg. I want to honestly see WWE get better. I don't know how. I do think it stems way above board. I think it's not just about letting the talent work freely, it's about who actually produces the shows, who organise everything. Let it be fun. I'm not saying bring back the Attitude Era, but let wrestling matches be wrestling matches instead of sitting about 5 minutes for stare downs. Let them actually work. Let the promos actually make sense instead of saying stuff that has nothing of enjoyment. Like promos that have no text aren't exciting. Like, I wanted to justify when you pay for something, always wanting what? When you pay for something, what do you always want to get? What's the most important aspect of when you buy something? It might seem obvious as well. People think I just come in here because I love to shit on all this. I don't. Yeah, that's actually the more annoying thing. I've got to come on here and be so intensely critical about it when I want to come on here and say, actually, some of this stuff I think has actually got potential, but I can't see it because it's not there. Like, here's a great example, right? Yeah, Larbark, I agree. Let me see. Let me see if I've got a perfect example. Hmm. All right, let's do it like this. Picture this. If you're into video games, you'll understand what I'm saying, right? Games that come out every single year. Like you get a new wrestling game every year. You get a new Pokemon game. You get a new NBA, a new EA Sports Football, or to you guys, soccer. You get a new like NBA like basketball. You get a new Formula One game. It's always the same, pretty much the same game every single freaking year. But the developers have to try and make it a little bit different to make it better than the last one. When they could have one game that just update it every year instead of having to just completely start from scratch. Here's a new game. Here's the same game. Instead of having 25, 26, 27, 28 of that version, you just do an annual year. Like if you get a Netflix subscription, you get it for, you pay for your monthly subscription. You buy the one game, then the year later, because of your subscription, instead, we'll just update the game kits, players transferred or drafted, the cars, the team drivers. We'll just update them every single year. Boom, your game hasn't been erased, it's just been updated. What I want to see from WWE is the same thing. Here's your talent. I want to see you update the situation. So here's status quo. Behind it is what you're trying to punch through. So when you punch through, the barrier comes down and you set a new status quo. Aspiration. Without aspiration, and focus and drive, you're going nowhere. So if they can figure that out, they have a chance to actually justify the expenses that they're constantly seeking from their fan base. Because eventually, those fans are just going to go, and shut off. Or, funnily enough, they'll be sitting there on their phones watching old stuff and getting caught on camera. It doesn't feel like the same WWE from the 80s and 90s. Hope Triple H and the rest of that crew get fired for bringing fresh creative writers that can tell some stories. Tell some stories that are both in-ring stories and outside the ring that are compelling and fun. It's not like we're asking for much. Who'd have thought, eh? It's not like we're asking them to destroy everything. We just want them to be better. That's the most important thing. Just be better. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for tuning in this evening. It's been an absolute pleasure. You all never, ever fail to make my shows enjoyable. Our streams are fun because you guys always deliver, you always show up, and I am so grateful for every single one of you. Yes, they are, Lark Bark. Yes, they are. I thank you all for watching. I'll be back again maybe tomorrow. If not, it'll be Tuesday. I bless you all with a phenomenal rest of your Sunday night. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Of course, one more time, Temple is still the predictions champion because Fernando, Catherine, Zodiac, and Chester all had a 100% prediction, tie-in with each other. But now that he has failed to beat you all, who's going to take it off on the world's end? That's December 27th. Who knows? Maybe Fernando will reclaim his championship. Maybe someone else will step up and steal it. Maybe Maria will go fuck a lot of years and take it back for a second time. Maybe Catherine decides that she's going to flip Hangman's face into a burger and she's going to squash him and stick him out for a meat slaughter to become predictions champion. Maybe Chester's going to play chess whilst we all play checkers. Maybe Josiah runs in and takes it for a second time. Or maybe Temple just goes, I'm going to lock the keys and I'm going to stick in. Who knows? Or maybe I just decide I want to be predictions champion once in my life. Either way, 2 hours, 44 minutes, and it doesn't feel like it because you guys are a blast. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you later on. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye, folks.
And today, our time comes to an end. This has been another exciting stream. Thank you very much for watching. And also, remember, if you get cracked over the head with a steel chair, you're not going to get a concussion. You're just going to come back here. Goodbye.